Deranged Professor here for Deranged Airsoft, and today we're looking at the Redline N7 made by Redline Airsoft. This is another drop-in cylinder HPA system for airsoft, and it offers a closed bolt system, so when you apply air to your line, the nozzle is in the forward position, and then when you pull the trigger, it retracts, it fires and then retracts and then loads the next BB in. So this one is special with their Milsim, called their Milsim edition, where it uses a three-way pneumatic valve, and when you pull the trigger, it then presses on this valve and then operates the entire thing. So there's no electronics, there's no FCU, there's no battery with this. So we're pretty interested to see how it works, so far I'm very impressed with it. I've already done a little bit of a test fit on my gearbox, and the gearbox that I'm using for the M4 that I bought is a very difficult gearbox to get this into because of the way that it's built, which I'll cover in another video. But today I'm just going to show you kind of how to get this into your gearbox, and it's very simple. So you take your gearbox, remove everything from the gearbox, your trigger, electronics, all that kind of stuff you do not need in the gearbox. The only thing that you will need in the gearbox is your stock trigger with spring, the safety lever with spring, and the selector plate. And it won't have the spring either because you don't have the cutoff lever in there. So those are the only components from the original gearbox that you actually need to keep for the action of this cylinder. It goes into your gearbox just like you would for like a Wolverine Airsoft SMP or the Polar Star F1 or the Polar Star Jack or the Wolverine Infernos. All of those same cylinder type engines all fit into this the exact same way as does this Redline. Now on the Redline, on the Milsim kit, there's a little tab right there. You can see that. That has to line up with this hole right here and then sink into that hole. Now this area had a whole reinforced section here that I had to cut out and then shave down, and it's all polished nice and smooth. But once you fit it into the hole there, you're good. And then it sits in there just like that. This hole lines up with the, let me see if I can find it, the pin for the actual gearbox to go into the lower receiver. And what you do is you just kind of fit that in there and line it up. Let's see if I have the holes lined up right. I don't think so. There we go. Once it's lined up, that's how it sits. And this is actually how it would look inside of your gearbox. You have that small area for the trigger, and there should be a little bit of a gap between your trigger and this valve here, so you should be able to wiggle it without it firing. If there's too much wiggle, then when you actually pull the trigger, it'll take you all the way to pull it back in order to fire it. If there's too little and it actually is contacting, when you pull the trigger even on safe, you may accidentally get it to fire. So there's a way to adjust it, and I'll show you that in another video. So this is really how it sits in there. Very nice, very clean and simple. When you buy it, it also comes with the the block-off plate for back here so that you can attach your buffer tube. And there you have it. You're done. Now, one thing to note when you buy the Redline system is that it does not come with the QD nipple for your airline. So fortunately, I have one left over from one of the other systems that we had, and that just slips right onto the macro line. But that is literally all there is to it. You would then reinstall your other half of the gearbox, and you're ready to drop it back into your lower. This system so far, we've only just got it. I'm just test fitting it into this gearbox and getting everything lined up, but I really like just the option that this gives without needing a battery, don't need an FCU. You can run it, and no matter what, you know, it's gonna shoot because it's a mechanical version. So we'll get back with you more on other updates on the gun and how it's firing. But for now, this is just a quick overview or quick install on how this fits into an M4 gearbox using the Redline N7 Milsim setup. So let us know what you think. Hit like us on Facebook, check us out on Instagram, and also if you like us here on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys out on the airsoft field.